The Galactic Advancement Summit was meant to be the pinnacle of civilization, technological wonders, quantum miracles, efficiency beyond imagination. But everything ground to a halt when a human raised their hand and asked, "Yeah, but where's the fun button?" Confused stares followed. Zarnik the Wise blinked all 12 of his eyes. What now? The fun button, the human repeated. "You know, the thing that makes all this cool stuff actually enjoyable." Silence, followed by quiet murmurs. Apparently, no such button existed. Thus began what historians would later call the Great Interstellar Mood Crisis. Turns out, the universe had become too optimized, perfectly scheduled, endlessly efficient, and deeply, cosmically boring. It took humans exactly 1 week to identify the issue. "You've built a universe where no one laughs," one sociologist said while juggling plasma orbs during a council hearing. A Blaxian elder wept softly. "I haven't heard a good pun in 300 years. Humans got to work. They reprogrammed hyper-elevators to play jazz. They installed confetti cannons in black hole research labs. They taught robotic attendants how to high-five, badly, but with spirit. And perhaps most importantly, they introduced something called Spontaneity Protocol Alpha. It meant sometimes, without warning, a spaceship would break into a galaxy-wide karaoke flash mob. It was considered wildly irresponsible, and it was a hit. As the fun spread, strange things happened. Workplace productivity went up. Interspecies conflicts went down. For the first time in centuries, people didn't dread their calendars. The Kayathari, once known for their terrifying precision, now hosted weekly comedy roasts. The Yilnari, beings of pure light, discovered shadow puppets. Even the emotionless Synthron Collective started a meme archive. The Galactic Senate was rebranded. No longer the Hall of Universal Order, it became the big round table of let's figure it out later. It featured beanbags, open mic nights, and a popcorn machine that may or may not have achieved sentience. Some resisted. Zoltrax, commander of the Void Fleet, stood firm. "This is undisciplined, uncalculated, chaotic." He said this while accidentally stepping on a whoopee cushion during a diplomatic summit. The room erupted in laughter. He resigned the next day and opened a paintball arena. Across galaxies, a strange energy returned. Joy. The one thing hyperlogic couldn't quantify. The humans called it vibes. No one fully understood what it meant, but everyone agreed it was important. Soon, even starship manuals included instructions for optimizing cockpit vibes. Cultural shifts followed. Dress codes were replaced with whatever feels right. Status symbols changed from antimatter yachts to who could tell the best campfire story. The Void Dancers of Sector 7, once reclusive, began hosting dance-offs. Winners received intergalactic bragging rights and something called a friendship bracelet. No one knew what it did. Everyone wanted one. Alien cuisine began featuring spice levels labeled mild, brave, human, and emergency medical intervention required. The most requested dish, flaming nachos of destiny. The Galactic Archives couldn't keep up. They eventually gave up and started a podcast instead. Episode 1. We tried to outfun the humans. It didn't go well. But even with the rise of universal fun, conflict didn't vanish. Debates raged over whether laser tag should be a mandatory diplomatic activity. The issue was settled with a sudden, unsanctioned pillow fight during a summit. No casualties, except one bruised ego. Meanwhile, humans began teaching the universe Earth's ancient wisdom. Never underestimate the power of a well-timed dance break. Pizza solves most problems. And of course, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. Entire departments were created. One of the largest, the Interstellar Ministry of Shenanigans. Their motto, making the universe slightly weirder, one giggle at a time. Zarvok, an elder philosopher made entirely of fog, once said, "We optimized our machines, our systems, our time, but not our souls." He was later seen skateboarding in a tutu. It was his enlightenment moment. Eventually, the most advanced AI in the universe came online. It calculated 42 million possible futures, and in every one where fun was banned, civilizations collapsed. In the futures where fun thrived, so did everyone else. Then one day, someone asked the humans a new question. What happens when fun becomes normal? The human ambassador paused. Easy, they said, sipping from a glittery smoothie cup. Then we figure out how to make normal awesome. 6 months later, Galactic engineers finished the impossible. They built the fun button. A literal, glowing red button placed in the heart of every major starport. Push it, and something random happens. Music, confetti, hover llamas. Some feared it would be abused. It was, often, but no one ever regretted pressing it. On the anniversary of the first, where's the fun button? Incident, a parade spanned 3 galaxies. Marching bands made of sentient saxophones. Floats shaped like historical inside jokes. Even the Synthrons smiled, which was unsettling, but nice. Then, just as everything felt perfect, it started again. Humans began yawning, not out of boredom, out of contentment, the kind that comes after a job well done. Zarvok approached the human leader. Wait, you're not going back to sleep again, are you? The human grinned. Nah, just taking a vibe break. We'll be back before dinner. They stretched, reclined in a floating hammock, and pulled a blanket of starlight over themselves. And thus began the second great chill. Not a war, not a disaster. Just a universal pause for joy. In time, every species followed suit. Meetings paused for sunsets. Trade disputes settled over dance battles. Entire planets observed do-nothing Wednesdays. And as the stars twinkled over a quieter, happier galaxy, a single plaque remained above every fun-button station. The universe is big. Don't forget to laugh. Because in the end, the greatest upgrade humanity gave the stars wasn't faster ships or tastier snacks. It was the reminder that even in the vastness of space, fun matters.